This is TWiT. So let's talk about something happier. The new Pixel 7. I ordered one. It'll be coming tomorrow. I'm sorry to say. I wish I had it for you today. The reviews start coming out, I think. When does the embargo lift, chat room? I think somebody said tomorrow morning. We'll start, maybe today. Maybe we'll start seeing reviews
Pixel stuff.
Today. Yeah, the Pixel Watch. And I think I'm starting to see Pixel Watch reviews, right?
Yeah, I started to see them too.
Yeah, I think the watch reviews are out. I'm not sure about this, the phone. I have talked to somebody, I guess I can say it, Andy Anako, who has the Pixel Watch. He's embargoed. He can say he has it. He can show it to us. He did yesterday on MacBreak Weekly. He can hold up the phone. It was lifted this morning. Okay, so I'll look for Andy's pictures. He said, I could tell you the pictures are incredible. I can't show them to you yet. So let me see if he's posted them on his Instagram, because he was
Twitter now.
Yeah, he was very bullish about the images he was getting.
Is that the main reason to consider getting it?
Yeah, I mean, at this point.
Otherwise, it's a phone.
It's a phone.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say that, because Google, unlike Apple, which really never talks about phones, at the event on Thursday spent a lot of time talking about the phone.
Phone, yeah, you're right.
You know, they have some new technologies, which, as far as we know, will come down to the Pixel 6 at least at some point as a feature update. But what do they call it? Clear talk, clear tone. They have some new features to make the sound quality better. They have, let's see. Let me see if I can find, it's so funny because here's a review from 9 to 5 Google. Camera, battery.
That's what matters with all phones today.
It is. It really is. But I think they announced a number of really good phone features for the Pixel 7. Let me see if I can. I didn't actually bookmark those. Let's see if I can find them.
I wish smallness was a thing.
Smallness? You and Stacy both say
Stacy has floppy wrists.
You want smaller, lighter.
I'm sorry, my hands are only so large and my pockets are only so large, and I don't want a phone that I can't keep in my pocket.
My wife's the same.
The pocket's not getting any bigger.
You know, Miss Cathy, I hear that from Queen Pruitt quite often, but I also hear just as much, I can't see the screen. You know, it's sort of a
I think
give
it depends
and take.
what you optimize for. I know some people who are basically using it almost instead of their laptop, and they're the people who want the bigger screens, and they two-handed, and they want to be able to see everything. I want the emergency computer. I'll schlep my laptop if I want a laptop, but if I just want to be out and about but not disconnected, I want something small and portable. And I'm not getting that. I'm losing that over time. Although I did today just see my friend had a foldable one, and I don't know if it's any good. I hear they're expensive and not quite ready for
Stacy
prime time,
has
but
no, I think it's quite good. The Samsung Flip 4 came out last month.
Depends on which way.
So Stacy, I sent her my Flip 3. I think they're very, very good. I wouldn't get the Fold, which is the idea is it's a tablet that folds up into a rather thick phone. But I would look at the flip phone, which is
especially if you want a smaller phone.
Yeah, to fit.
Yeah.
The problem is they don't put big pockets in women's clothing. Actually,
well, we're lucky to get any.
You're
pockets
lucky to have pockets, yeah.
but normal pants, sort of, we can get away with it. But there's a limit to how big they're going to be, and you don't want to put in your back pocket because that's where pickpockets target. So.
I am seeing reviews. The Verge's review is out. They give it a score of 7. They're not quite the super helpful, ultra intelligent phones that Google wants them to be. This is Allison Johnson writing. But the latest Pixel devices are more competitive than ever. I don't think I don't know if I care about whether they're competitive.
Yeah, it's
Google
also about
might.
the numbers, about the expectation. What do they expect?
Yeah.
If it's
G2 chip, the new Tensor G2 chip, which Google says, because it's an AI-focused chip, is required for some of the features, including the improved audio. Although I notice Allison says, when she's talking about the good and the bad, that new speech and intelligence features are underwhelming. It does have face recognition as well as fingerprint. Remember the fingerprint reader on the Pixel 6, a lot of people complained about. Ant, you hated it, I remember.
I did. It got better.
It got
totally
better
fine now.
over time. I found it fine, but
it's totally fine now.
It'll be nice to have a choice and to have fast face unlock would be good.
Even with mask on, that's another key.
Yeah, and iPhone's done that for a while, and it really works. Even when I wear my scary Bane mask, the iPhone will unlock sometimes. Not always, sometimes for me. Let's see. The screen is the same size, 6.3-inch OLED on the Pixel 7, 6.7-inch on the Pixel 7 Pro, and it's 120 hertz display on the Pro model, 90 hertz on the little model. I never pay attention to refresh rate, but people really seem to notice the difference, the smooth scrolling and so forth. Very bright, by the way, and all the reviewers have said, yeah, they really look good in the daylight. Colors are softer, says Allison. The camera bar is either... she's talking about the camera bar, which is now all metal, matte and polished aluminum. Matte for the Pixel 7, and the Pro has...
You like the bar on when you did the
Didn't bother me. You get what you're going to do, and you want is a case that makes the bar more flush, because otherwise it does... I mean, without a case, it really protrudes. This is the Pixel 6, but you could see how big that camera...
Will they ever make a phone that doesn't need a case? It's a stupid question, but...
Well, everybody claims they've made a phone that doesn't need a case.
But they don't.
When you're making them out of glass...
Right,
yeah. My 3
case.
fell on its face, the day I got it.
Yeah.
Hit something on just the right corner to send a splinter through it, and it's been there ever since. At least I've had the protective sticker over it, so it didn't shatter further, and it doesn't slice my fingers. So it's just really, really annoying that it exists. But I think I got a case on it that didn't have enough of a bevel. I think you want a cushion above the glass to be able to feel like it could fall on its face without too much injury.
Yeah,
I agree.
Google did have problems, as you remember, last year with dropped calls. A lot of Pixel 6s couldn't call 911. I don't know if they ever solved that. Google says it's using a new modem chip, but The Verge says she had a couple of issues. On one call, the person on the other end said the phone was cutting off the last syllables of her sentences. Another time, the caller said I got cut off as I was talking.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But that's, one person's experience with a couple of calls. As I said, I'll have the phone tomorrow, and I'll report back next week. Battery, all Google said is they'll last over 24 hours.
Lies.
Yeah, probably lies. Yeah, probably lies. The Pro has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which is fairly big.
That's big.
4355 for the Pixel 7. Again, you even saw a different battery life depending on which version of Android you were using, right?
I sure did.
Yeah.
The latest version, man, this battery it's definitely all day. There's no stress at the end of the day. Last week it was sitting at like 70% during the show. It's 68 today.
Yeah.
And I've been on it a good bit this morning because I was trying to work on some stuff with Floss. So yeah, it's way better now with the OS update.
Good. In the years that Google's been selling these phones, how many years has it been? Almost 10. They've sold a total of, I think, 27 million, which is less than Apple and Samsung selling a quarter. So they're just really not I don't think they're important. They're important because it's the phone from Google. But
again, I go back to my argument the other week where people think of Android phones. They never think of Google. It's always Samsung.
Right.
And heck, they never even say Android. They just say Droid or they say Samsung.
Right. Right. They don't know. They don't even, terms. So Google has added something they call clear calling to filter out background noise and wind. CNN, in their review, says, this is Max Bondano, says it works remarkably well. I placed a lot of phone calls during my testing, each one in a different setting. So it's really funny. The reviewers are getting, results all over the map. Some walking down windy streets, others at my kitchen table. All of them were delightful since I could hear the person I was speaking with so clearly. The other, which was available last year on the Pixel 6, Direct My Call, which they showed off at the event. And I tell you what, if it does it well, it's the one thing that would make it worth buying this phone. When you get to a call tree, it shows you on the screen what the options are so you can tap them. Yeah. You don't have to sit and listen to Please hold on as our options have changed. Press 1.
And they never have changed.
They've never changed.
It's the same list.
He says he couldn't test it because he couldn't find anybody participating. Apparently, businesses have to make their voicemail compatible with Google Duplex before Direct My Call can work. I think maybe a lot of businesses don't want you to skip ahead. The whole point of the voice tree is to get you to hang up before they have to pay a human to talk to you, because that's expensive. So I'm not clear. Voice memos getting an improvement. When you use the recorder app, your phone will not only transcribe it, but will label the speaker. It wouldn't know it's you, Jeff. Maybe it would. Maybe say, that guy, Jeff.
Oh, hang up now.
Again, CNN says it works exceptionally well to a point where it makes you wonder just how powerful Google's machine learning software really is. The good news is Google has guaranteed 3 years of Android versions and 5 years of security updates. So that's a big improvement. Right before I think we talked about. Is that the
standard now? Is that like the Apple standard, the 5-year security?
Apple's longer than that. I think Apple.
Oh, it's longer.
I think Apple now it's down to it's iPhone 8. I think I can't remember. You're getting Apple goes on a long time. Samsung goes on 5 years. I think it ought to be the standard, right?
Right.
I think it's not unreasonable to think you'll get a new phone every 5 years.
Right.
Although I know plenty of people who don't. I think most people probably don't. How old was your phone, John, before you got the new iPhone? 8 years.
Jeez.
And he works for us.
That dude.
He's a geek.
I have a TechDirt post though complaining about that I couldn't run United Airlines app on my phone anymore because something needed to be upgraded.
Right.
I guess the operating system and the phone couldn't do it, so it ended up unsupported. And this just seemed like a problem that at a certain point the ecosystem, if it's not bricking your devices, it basically makes them unusable.
Right.
And some of the pushback is, well, because stuff needs to be supported and it's not supported, so it will be unsafe. But this is a problem because it just creates e-waste. And right now we don't have a very robust right of repair. So the idea that you buy a thing and that, like, if you take care of it and you don't drop it, it has a finite life. Like, it's a disposable product, just a disposable product with a lifetime of not weeks, but years. But it's only a handful of years. Whereas, we used to buy washing machines and televisions that would last for like a generation. This is not good.
Yeah, they don't last anymore.
Here, I'll get Ant's opinion on this. This is, again, Max Bondano writing for CNN. Here is an example of the zoom. This is a 50 megapixel sensor with a 2x button. So there's
I wish they put those in quotes.
I know. Well, it's binning. It maybe have that many megapixels, but who knows what you get. I think that's a pretty good zoom.
That looks
pretty good quality. Yeah, it's a little artifacted, but not bad. The ultra wide is the same as on the 6. In fact, honestly, I don't think there's a lot of differences in the camera.
I'm more curious about the macro because I believe they have shortened the minimum focal distance for macro. Yeah. That's big for people that love to shoot macro shots. You can get even closer.
This is it might be a macro of a bagel. It looks pretty good. Makes me want a bagel.
I'll take it.
I'll take a bagel, please, with a ham and egg breakfast bagel. The macro
ham
mode.
And a bagel. Ham and a bagel.
Ham and a bagel. Now, really, that's not right, is it, Cathy? That's not okay. Who put that trafe in my bagel? All right.
Exactly.
Totally add that. Add gravy.
Add gravy. More pork. New 48 megapixel telephoto lens. 5x lossless zoom photos. The 12 megapixel middle camera do a 10x zoom, and then you can do a digital zoom up to 30x. Macro mode lets you get closer than ever before, or whatever that means. I don't know how close. Doesn't say.
It wasn't very close. When I did macro shots with this 6 Pro, I found that I got better image quality using the telephoto lens and standing further back and doing
Isn't that interesting?
In on it.
Yeah.
I believe we actually demoed it last year on the show.
Yeah.
I had coffee beans and just set up a light and put the phone on a little tripod stand and just use the telephoto. And it was nice for a phone. The macro mode you couldn't get tight enough.
Little disappointing, according to Digital Camera World, there is no manual photo mode. I don't know if you can get raw images. That's something Apple does very well with their ProRes, or their Pro Raw, they call it, where you get a raw dump of the data from the sensor, but you also get included in the file, which is very large as a result, all the computational information, the depth image information, and so forth. So that's good. Obsidian, lemongrass, and snow. I ordered snow.
Oh, I was hoping for you to get the greenish one.
Winter is coming.
Ah.
Yes.